cameras set up at Madison Square Garden for his show. It is cool. I'm telling you right now, this movie is way better than people were expecting it.
Real quick, so I know we have about a minute left. Did you see the movie Cedar Rapids? Because that intrigues me.
I'm seeing this weekend with Ed Helms, and I'll get to that review next.
Ed Helms and John C. Reilly.
Yep, I'm seeing that next week. And also, I gave Beaver's movie a 3.5 out of 5. Moving on to The Eagle with Channing Tatum. Stay away from this. Channing Tatum is a Roman soldier. The guy can't act, first of all.
That's Kevin BDK McCarthy there, or Kevin whatever his name is. Kevin McCarthy. Gosh, I don't know. Guy on WJFK does the movie reviews, and the junks always pick on him. Kind of entertaining, you know. There isn't a lot of entertaining stuff on 106.7 these days. The junkies are pretty good, and I like BDK, Kevin, whatever his name is. I can't remember. Anyhow, good morning, Washington. Got some friends out in Chico, California. And this was the Chico Enterprise record for Monday, with a giant picture of Aaron Rodgers on the cover there. You know, he's from Chico, and of course he was the big Green Bay Super Bowl quarterback. Not a real thick paper here, kind of thin, but they love him out there. Just wanted to bring up Chico here because it ties in with a Washington Post correction of yesterday. This is what's wrong with the Washington Post, okay? Let me read this to you. This is a correction, page A2 of yesterday's Post. The Mike Wise column in the February 7 sports section incorrectly said that Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers grew up in California's Bay Area. Rodgers is from Chico, California, about 160 miles northwest of San Francisco. Okay? Two things in this correction that are wrong. One is Chico is not 160 miles northwest of San Francisco. If you go 160 miles northwest of San Francisco, you go out into the Pacific Ocean. Okay? Chico is 160 miles northeast of San Francisco. And second of all, they spelled Rodgers, R-O-G-E-R-S. And it's, of course, if you can see, if you read the Chico paper, which, you know, is probably a better journalistic product, Rodgers has a D in it. Well, Post didn't run a correction to its correction today. But I'm telling you, if you got to run corrections to your corrections, there's something really, really, really wrong with your paper. And this is not the first time the Post has run a correction to a correction in even the last month. I mean, they ran an article about the Washington Capitals, and they spelled them C-A-P-I-T-O-L-S, like the Capitol building. I mean, then they had to run a correction to that correction. So, I don't know. There's something wrong with it. You know, somebody's got to fix the Post. Or maybe it's beyond fixing. Today's memory of the day. Look at this one. Looky. Remember the old. I do apologize for bringing up so much HFS, but this is the old. This is the T-shirt from the HFS. What is this? The HFS Nutcracker Xmas. The HFS Xmas Nutcracker from December 13, 2000. Yeah. Good station there. I'll tell you, CBS really needs to put that back on a main signal, fire it back up again, restaff it, and get it back up on one of their signals. You know, if I was running CBS, here's probably what I would do. I'd take JFK, the sports station, and I'd put them on 94.7 because it's got a good signal. It's transmitters in Bethesda. It's got a good signal. And then I would take 106.7, and I'd bring HFS back. I'd put it back on there, you know. It would, you know, give it a full signal again. What the heck? And say, bye-bye, Fresh. Bye-bye, Fresh. Some more Dave's record collection. As I said, we're still in the B's today. My favorite Beatles album, definitely my favorite Beatles album, the White Album. You know, and the classic rockers in town ought to be playing more Beatles. And especially the White Album. Happiness is a Warm Gun, lots of course, and Blondie, of course. If I didn't mention Blondie, I always liked Blondie a lot. Hanging on the Telephone. Call me! Atomic. Good stuff on this album. This is just the greatest hits. But and then, of course, remember the Bubblegum Classics, the voice of Tony Burrows. If you're a big fan of Top 40 radio, especially in the 70s, you remember stuff like Love Grows or My Rosemary Grows by a group called Edison Lighthouse. Beach Baby by First Class. My Baby Loves Lovin' by a group called White Plains. Well, the strange thing about that, United We Stand by the Brotherhood of Man. The strange thing about that is that all those were different bands, but they were actually really Tony Burrows, big studio musician, singer, whatever, in London. And they released all these albums and different band names, one guy. And if you listen to those songs, you suddenly realize, that's the same guy singing all of them. But brilliant stuff here. If you love pop music, and I'm a big fan of pop music, great album there. And some bumper Snickers. This was a big station when I was in college, WQPO, down in Harrisonburg, 100.7 FM. In fact, you can actually get them here in Northern Virginia often if you turn your antenna right. The joke around college was this WQPO meant for queer people only. And, of course, here's a Philly bumper sticker, WDAS up in Philly, one of the great adult urban contemporary stations of all time, and Norfolk Rocker WNOR 99, which I believe is actually 98.7, right? It's on the same frequency as our WMZQ. Okie dokie. Just wanted to mention also we had a lot of big news yesterday about, let's see here, I love Windows 7 here. It's like getting these windows all moved over. Here we go. The big news yesterday was the fact that it looks like WJFK 106.7 CBS owned will be picking up the Nationals. And people were emailing me yesterday because there was a Nationals blog. Mark Zuckerman, I believe, wrote something up about it, and then Dan Sneinberg picked it up in the DC Sports blog, and they were all saying, Dave, why don't you have this big story? And I'm saying, go back to January 11th. January 11th. I'm going to read what I wrote a month ago. DCRTV is hearing rumblings floating around about a plan for Nationals coverage that keeps the team on Bonneville's FED, but signs CBS's Fairfax studio to Manassas license to carry the games. Okay? I wrote that a month ago. We are the Rodney Dangerfield of websites. We get no respect. I'm reporting all these rumblings months before everybody else, and they're all going, why don't you have it? Well, read my site. I love that. People will send me, you didn't have anything on such and such. And I'm going, yeah, we did 3 days ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever. I love it. I love it when the Washington Post takes my stories. A month later, Doug McElway gets canned by Channel 7. We had that story a month, 3 weeks before the Post had it. Then the Post runs it like it just fell into their lap. Hey, come on, guys. DCRTV is on top of the news. We're always there. And we get it before everybody else, and it just makes me mad. I want to rage and rant. Okay. We're looking at the FM radio. Let's see what 105.9's running. Oh, wait, that's not it.
And he said he should be good to go for Saturday's game. Jill Sorensen, Comcast Sportsnet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What about 105.7? Okay, so the big deal now is what's going to happen to 105.7 in Baltimore without the Orioles? Here's what I think should happen. CBS in Baltimore has been selling its stations. They sold QSR a while back, got picked up by Clear Channel, still running the Jack kind of adult hits format. Why doesn't Hearst in Baltimore, which owns WBAL and 98 Rock, why don't they buy another FMer in Baltimore? Why don't they buy 105.7 from CBS? And keep the sports talk format on it, and put either the Ravens or the Orioles or something there, and or maybe even put BAL there, and I don't know what. But Hearst, with all the programming, with all the Ravens, with all the Orioles programming, with the news talk on BAL, 98 Rock going on, they really, really, really need another signal in Baltimore. And I would say, why don't they pick up? If CBS is going to be selling their stations, they could pick up 105.7, they could pick up 100.9, or something like that, or even 106.5. What the heck? They need another signal up there. I know that folks up at BAL in Baltimore would like another signal, maybe put BAL on, but, it's one of those things that probably won't happen. So we shall see. We'll also see if the Ravens like sharing a station with the Orioles. Well, the Ravens going to like doing that. You know, the Ravens and the Orioles are going to be competing with each other for ad dollars and influence on one station, and I kind of have a feeling the Ravens are not thrilled that the Orioles will be joining them on BALAM. So we'll see about that. Okay, folks, that's the big DCRTV Dave for today, the 11th of February. So anyhow, hopefully we're looking to line up somebody who will sponsor these Dave TV shows, for like $150, $200 a month. If you want, us to mention you at the beginning of every Dave TV, your product, your company, your sponsorship, whatever, let me know. I mean, hold up a little banner and we'll hype it, but we're looking to do something like that. And so anywho, that's it. And I want you all to remember to stay